Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Miss Glad here. Just going to walk you through a few things to get us ready for our performance on Wednesday and Thursday. I am planning on being here Wednesday, so I'm excited to see all of you. It's been a while, and I'm looking forward to being back. So let's take a peek at what I've got for you today. So our focus today is the Unit 3 review. We do have a 2-day test coming up, so right now you're going to want to dig out those pink notes. I hope that we have proved over and over how beneficial they are. Our square roots, our non-perfect square roots. You're going to see on the review today that questions 1 through 8, you may not use a calculator on. And that's going to be consistent with the test as well. On Wednesday, part 1, there's going to be no calculators, but you can use that pink notes. Then when we hit questions 9 through 12, you're going to see that calculators may be used. So with Pythagorean theorem, yes, you will have calculators. So at this time, can our guest teacher go ahead and pass out the review sheet? And I'll just wait a moment here if you want to go ahead and pause this video. And then we'll get started. So students taking a look over this review sheet, all of these questions are going to prepare you for that test coming up tomorrow. And when you're done, I would like you to go to the student resource paper or page to correct. Make corrections if you need to. This review, so long as you complete it and make corrections, will be your assignment, or excuse me, I guess it's a practice assignment, just for the review test or the Unit 3 test. You may use it on the test tomorrow along with your notes. So let's take a peek. Starting off with learning target 1. So this is a non-calculator section, but you can use your pink notes with those perfect squares. This is going to be awesome. So the first thing I want to point out, you're going to have to evaluate. That means find the answer. So we're going to use grouping symbols. You're going to be using exponents, multiply, divide, then add and subtract. Now, all of this is order of operations, right? And we remember that grouping symbols hold the square root symbol. So as I'm looking at letter A, I'm going to have to start here at the square root of 49, which is 7. So I've got 3 times 7 plus 5. You would go ahead and follow those order of operations, 21 plus 5 to give you a total of 26. So you will see a whole section on evaluating. Then take a look. You're going to see equations. And if you remember equations, we've got to use reverse order of operations. So SADMEG. So remember that we always start with subtraction and adding first. Then we do multiplying and dividing. Are there any exponents? There is not. Grouping symbols go last. So let's jump over, and I'm just going to kind of do a little tour here before you get started. But let's jump over to letter B. Our goal is to get this x all by itself. So to undo this, I hope you notice in the numerator, these are grouped together. So we're going to save that for last, says SADMEG. So my very first step here, I need to undo this divided by 3. I'm going to multiply by 3 on the left. Then I'm going to come over here and multiply by 3 on the right. Times 3 divide 3 cancels. So I've got the square root of x plus 3. All of that is balancing with 6. Now, my next step, I've done I had to get rid of my times 3 divide 3. So what's left here, to get to the square root, I'm going to subtract 3 on the left, subtract 3 on the right. I'm going to draw my line. My 3's cancel, and I've got the square root of x, which is equal to 3. Now, I'm not finished because I really don't care what the square root of 3 is, the square root of x is. So to get that x alone, I've got to come over here to undo my square root. You might remember we square it. So the square root of x to the square root of x is going to give me my x. And whatever I do to the left, I've got to do to the right. 3 squared is 9. So here you will see some problems like that on our performance, going through and solving for x using SADMEG, reverse order of operations. Our next learning target 2, I can approximate non-perfect square roots. Again, this is a non-calculator section. And so take your time, use your pink notes. You are estimating to the nearest integer. What is the nearest whole number? So the square root of 38 is really close to the square root of 36, which would be 6. For letter B, notice that 48 and 2 are not perfect squares. So you're going to have to divide first and then take the square root, and that's a 24. So you go ahead and finish that one out. Here you're doing which number is greater, prove it. So how are you going to prove it? This question you are explaining who is correct, either Ashley or Brian. Remember, square root is like the area of a square inside. So is Ashley or Brian going to give you that area of 1.44? Explain how you know. The next learning target is learning target 3. And here you're going to go through using your pink notes. You're going to label R for rational, I for irrational. So any decimal that terminates ends is rational. Take a look at your list. Coming over here for number 7, rational or irrational. If you subtract these two numbers, will the answer be rational, irrational? Showing your thinking is just showing your work. So right here, square root of 64 is 8. 8 minus 7 is 1. So I know that a rational minus a rational number will always give me a rational answer. So right here, showing my work explains my thinking. Now, moving on. We do have a number line, and you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different numbers. You are going to need to go through and locate or approximate these real numbers. To do that, plot them using a point on the number line. So let's do this easy one together right here. Square root of 25 is 5. So I'm going to find my number 5, and I'm going to plot that just like this. And I'm going to use the letter A right above to say there's the location. Now you're going to use negative 4.1, absolute value of negative 2. Please approximate pi. Approximate the square root of 5, and there's my negative fraction. So that looks exactly like part 1 of our test coming up on Wednesday. Now, once you hit 9, 10, 11, and 12, these are all Pythagorean theorem. You may use a calculator. So calculator is okay. You are checking to see which of the following make a right triangle. So use your Pythagorean theorem to check. Remember, your hypotenuse is always the longest side. So right here, you are checking to see which of these make a right triangle. Same thing for number 10. Which side lengths form a right triangle? So here, notice you've got this square root. So again, here's going to be my C. So you're going to check, does 2 squared plus 6 squared equal the square root of 38, all of that squared? You are checking to say yes or no. Circle all that apply. Number 11, you are missing, it looks like the hypotenuse here, rounded the nearest hundredth. So make sure you read carefully. And for number 12, looks like you are missing one of the legs. I'm going to call this leg B. So please set up and solve, round to the nearest hundredths. Be aware on this next part here. Skip 13 and 14. We're going to hit those after winter break using the distance formula, so ignore those for now. So use your time safely. Are you ready for the test? You're going to complete your review. You're then going to go to the student resource page and you are going to correct that review. Keep it somewhere safe. And then also, when you are all finished, there are digital reviews in the student resource page. Please use them to get yourself all ready to roll. I will see you on a Wednesday. Bring a calculator, a review sheet, and you may use those Unit 3 notes. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Have a dandy day.